From as early as I can remember, my dream was always to be a successful musician. My first instrument was piano, but the first instrument that I got really good at was drums. But at a young age, I started singing, so I always wanted to be a singer. Right out of high school, I got approached to be in the band. They had been together for a couple of years, and they needed a singer. So they found out about me somehow, and so they approached me. Started off just playing small parties around Hilo, and then it got bigger and bigger. We started traveling back and forth to Oahu like every weekend. We did that for a few years, and then we got signed, got put on a national tour. So I was on national tour for 3 years, almost 4 years. Not as glamorous as you would think. A lot of drinking, a lot of drugs. Really hard, not much money. But there was good times too, but a lot of it was stressful. I decided to stop doing that when it started to affect my family. I met Marilyn in 2006, I think 2005, 2006. So we were in between tours, and I decided to go get a day job. And so I met her at the place where I was working. It took us 2 years of dating, and then we got married. I didn't realize right away. You know, I still thought I could have both. So raising a small child, at this point we only had one child. Raising a small child, still trying to record in the studio, long hours. I was working 2 jobs. So I worked a construction job from 7 in the morning till 4:30. And then I would drive to Newport Beach and I would wait tables until about 1 o'clock in the morning. And then I would come home and still try to fit music in there somewhere. And so I didn't realize right away that it wasn't gonna work. We found out we were pregnant with our second child. And I decided to move home. I didn't want to raise my kids in LA. Not that there's anything wrong with LA, but it just wasn't for me. I still tried to be with Living in Question. I would fly to California. We recorded albums. We were doing shows. And I'd have to be gone for months at a time. And it started to really affect my marriage and my home life. To the point where my wife didn't want to be with me anymore. So I had to make a decision. We had already been coming to church, and I was already on the worship team. But I was still getting pulled in that direction. You know, everywhere I went, everybody's always like, what about Living in Question? You know, aren't you guys going on another tour? Aren't you coming out with another album? What do you mean you're just playing music at church? Like, don't you want to play outside? And I did. I wanted to play outside. I still felt like I had something left to do. It's really difficult to find your joy. Almost, I'd say it's impossible to find your joy out there, because you're always striving for somebody else's idea of what you should be. Here, it's as soon as I walk in these doors, I'm just at peace. You know, even away from this place, just knowing that I belong here, and that there's a place for me here and my family. It's undescribable. During a worship set, and we look out in the crowd, and people are getting saved, and people are worshiping with all their heart. There's no feeling that can compare to that. So yeah, the biggest difference in what I'm doing today versus what I was doing before is I get to include my family in my passion. You know, they get to come right alongside me and watch me and support me, and I get to show them something I'm proud of. anybody who's struggling with trying to find out what to do with their giftings. You know, I've been through all that, and the only advice I can give you is that you're never gonna find it by yourself. You're never gonna be able to fulfill your goals without the help of God. So I just encourage anybody who's struggling to come to the Lord and trust that He will guide you, and He has your best interest in mind, and He'll take care of you.